Welcome into the Greater Texas Ford Dealers inaugural Female Athlete of the Month. From Big Spring to Amarillo, Burke Burnett to Midland, Carthage to Lamesa, Stanton to Mineola, and many points in between. We celebrate the remarkable achievements of female high school athletes based on performances on and off the field and courts. From Class 6A to private schools, it's the Greater Texas Ford Dealers Female Athlete of the Month. And a big welcome to the show, the Class 4A winner of the Greater Texas Ford Dealers Female Athlete of the Month. She stands at 6'1", 6'9" with hair, and she dominates in every single sport that she plays. I'm talking about Katrina Greer of Waco Connally. A big congratulations to you. What does it mean to you to be the best in Texas?
It means a lot. Like, I've worked consistently and I'm trying. That's all. I'm giving effort and it's paying off.
Well, I noticed behind you, you have a lot of medals and you have a lot of shoes. What means the most to you?
My medals, of course. I don't really care too much about shoes. I like shoes, of course. If I can get more, I would, but I like to compete.
I love it. You know, Katrina, you've done amazing things. You're an all-state high jumper, all-region volleyball player, blocker of the year in your team, a dominating force in basketball. You guys are off to a great start. All Syntex, all academic. Is there anything that you can't do?
I can't really cook. I can't cook, but I like to eat. I don't know why I said that, but
yeah, the word is you eat a lot of junk food and you eat all day long and you never put any weight on. How do you pull that off?
I just stay active. I really am real active, like, throughout the year. So everything I eat just burns off. And I've always had a fast metabolism, so it just goes real fast.
So you never have really eaten real food, huh? It's just always junk food?
I eat real food all the time. I like to eat, like, whether it's roasted potatoes or chips.
That sounds good. I know I had a couple coaches tell me about that, and I was like, I don't think that that's true. Well, you play all these great sports at such a high level. What is your favorite sport?
My favorite sport is basketball. My second favorite sport is volleyball, and then track falls in line.
Why do you like basketball so much?
I like basketball because it's intense. Like, everywhere you go, you're going to see somebody competing. No matter where you go. Like, basketball is really intense and it's fun. It's like you have to keep your energy high for you to win a game. So, I just like the intensity and the competition.
Tell me about your team and some of the big stars that you have on it. And do you sense something special with this group that you're playing with?
Yes, I've been playing with them for a while, and it's just everything is starting to get put together. And I just really love playing with those girls. Like, I love them. A star on my team: Sincere McDonald, Gracie Alejo, Kaylee O'Neal, Jemiah Brown, and Elise Medlock for sure.
I know Gracie and you are kind of like joined at the hip. Talk about that relationship and why you guys are so close.
Well, we've been going to school together for a long time now, so it's just been bond and sisterhood ever since. We started playing together in the 7th grade. We started playing basketball together because I didn't play volleyball in the 7th grade. And then in the 8th grade, everybody just got even more closer and we just joined together.
It really seems like you girls in that basketball team just have such a good time playing and really enjoy playing with each other.
Yeah, we really love each other. It's like we're all tough on each other. So it's like they know that if we're tough on each other, it's all love. Like, you know how some girls, it's harder for them to take constructive criticism, but those girls, they're starting to get it. And it's like, they're not taking it offensive or anything. They're just like, okay, we're going to get it. Let's go,
That is fantastic, and that is a great way to build a team, no doubt about it. I look at you, and whenever you jump in the air, you get some serious air hang time when you do that. It's your post and your profile picture on your Twitter page. It's fun to see how high you get in the air, and I'm sure the high jump has something to do with that. How much has the high jump helped your other sports and your ability there?
It's helped a whole lot. Like, coming in freshman year, I wasn't really coordinated, and I started working with Coach Bacum, Big thanks to her. I started working with Coach Bacham, and she was just like, "I got to get you coordinated," because I wasn't coordinated at all. So she got me coordinated, and sophomore year just started to add up. That's the first year I went to state for high jump. I didn't do too well, but the next year coming in for high jump, I went to Texas Relays, and I was getting it there, and it just started to fall in line from there.
Tell me about the stage. It's such a big stage when you're performing the high jump because everybody's looking at you and
Yes.
you got to perform and you also got to think about your steps and where you're going to end up to make that great jump. How much do you enjoy that whole process?
It's really nerve-wracking, but I love it. Like, um, just being on the big stage, I was like, "Oh my god, there's so many people watching me." Like, I've never been here before, so the first time going, I was definitely nerve-wracked, which is why I didn't do too good because I don't think I beat the opening height at high jump that year. So I just knew coming into Texas Relays, like this is gonna be a familiar stage for state. So I have to, prepare myself and get used to the big stage and all the eyes watching and the noise. Because going to Texas Relays or state at that is just like so much noise. It's not quiet. So you have to focus in and lock in and, just be prepared for that.
Well, you're such a smart girl. You do great in the classroom. You're all academic. How are you able to pull that off when you have so much focus and concentration on all these different sports that you're playing at a high level?
Well, there's been some adversity in the last couple of years, but I'm pulling it out. I just gotta stay focused. Like I know I have to manage my time wisely and, just make sure that I do this. Like if I have something due, I have to be like, oh, I have this due, and this due. I need to go do this after practice or before practice and tag time. It's just different things that I have to do to make sure that I manage my time and my grades correctly.
I imagine when you show up at a volleyball match and the competition sees you stroll out there, they're thinking, all right, whatever we do, we got to keep the ball away from that girl.
For sure.
Do you
I've heard
enjoy
that
that
so many times.
intimidating factor? Because I feel like you get that every time you go on the road.
Yeah. Sometimes this girl's way bigger than me and they're like, well, she's smaller, so I'm gonna block her and I just try to keep the ball away from them. Even if I am like undersized, I'm considered the undersized middle going into the college world now because I'm a senior. So if I go and compete for volleyball, I'm gonna be undersized and I just have to, you know, keep going and put in the effort.
So what do you enjoy more, the spike or the block?
I'm not gonna lie, I enjoy blocking people. I love spiking, but blocking people is just the ultimate feeling.
And
Ultimate.
why is that? Because I think you just take their guts out when you you just rip their heart out because they're going to hit it so hard. You're right there and you hit it right back at them.
Yeah, and sometimes I swing block so my hands are low and then they just come up out of nowhere and it's just like boop and it goes right down. So I just like the feeling of having a block and the other girl being like, oh, I don't know. I just love it.
Tell us about some of the girls on your volleyball team that really stand out and have been stars that have been fun to play with.
Well, in volleyball, um, um, for sure, Jay. Her name is Braylon. She's a great passer. Sincere McDonald also, she's a great passer. My best friend, Iana Amos, she's the other blocker and she just jumps just as high as me. She's just shorter than I am. So it doesn't seem like she gets as high, but she does. She definitely does. And people underrate her because she's smaller, but like she'll get on the court and she'll spike harder than I do. And you just don't see it coming because she's smaller, but she's definitely a force to be reckoned with. I play with Gracie also, Megan Polanski. She was out this year because of an ACL tear, but she's a great blocker as well.
What a great run this team has had, no doubt about it. And you think about your stat line, nearly 500 kills and 100 blocks this season. How are you able to pull that off when there's such a large target on your back every time you go out there?
I don't know. I just play my game. I'm like, I gotta focus. I gotta put the ball here, and I'll try to just place the ball around other people's hands or make sure, like, whenever I jump, I can see the floor sometimes. So I just look at the floor and I just aim wherever I want it to go.
Well,
And I
Coach
work with
Six Smith nominated you for this tremendous honor. Tell
it.
me about him and the rest of the coaching staff and what they've meant to you.
Well, I really love Coach Smith. Me and him, we're going we're like this, but we're gonna bump heads sometimes, but it's all love. It's all love. I know he just wants the best for me, and he's working like to make sure that I'm straight, that my college is paid for, and that everything just falls in line for me. So I really appreciate him. And he came my senior year, so it's like late, but he's really putting in the work to make sure that I'm getting seen and everything's falling in line for me.
Yeah, I know he came over from DeSoto. They knew a little bit about, the whole college recruiting process with all the athletes that have come out of that program. It must be great to have Coach Smitty around. Is it tough love from him sometimes?
Definitely tough love. I'm like, Coach, I did not know. Like, he told me he was gonna be tough on me, but I didn't know he was gonna be that tough on me. So I just gotta take it in and take it like a grain of salt as he tells me, because that's what he tells me. And I have a hard time with it, but I'm getting used to it. I'm getting used to it because I know it's all love, and he just wants the best for me.
Yeah, and a lot of times if they're giving you that tough love, then they care, right? If they're not giving
And I
you
have,
any of that tough love at all, then they probably don't care and they don't think you're worth anything.
yeah, that's what my mom telling me. She's like, they're hard on the person that they love, and I'm like, okay, I just gotta take it in because it's hard for me sometimes, but I'm just like, I gotta run with it. It's
Now
tough love.
we hear that you're quirky, we hear that you're witty, and you think you're a comedian. Are you all this? Because inquiry minds want to know.
I don't know. I just laugh at my own jokes. I don't think I'm funny, but I think I'm funny to myself. I don't know.
Well, we hear there's a lot of athletic talent in your family. Your mom's 5'10", your dad 6'2". You have a bunch of uncles that have played major ball. I'm
Yeah,
trying to imagine what July 4th parties are like in your family. I mean, is it just competition after competition?
well, we really don't celebrate 4th of July.
But when
We
you
don't,
guys get
but
together, is it just crazy? All the
yeah.
athletic ability?
Especially on my dad's side, like all the boys will get together and you'll just see like big men running around the house. So like it's just something that I'm used to, that I've grown with. And like most of the girls in my family aren't as athletic as me, but they play sports too, and they move around with the boys. And I've always just grown with the boys. The boys are the most athletic in the family, so it's just like I see it firsthand. Like I have a cousin, his name is DeMarquise, he goes to Texas State. And he's a good athlete. His brother's a good athlete. My uncles are great athletes. It's passed down and I just see it firsthand. So I'm like, I want to do that. I want to be just like them.
What
You
have you
know,
learned? What is probably the biggest lesson that you have learned from all them?
that men that come off intimidating or as if they're bringing hard on you, but they don't mean it like that. That's definitely something I've learned because my dad is also that way. My cousins are that way. My coach is that way. Like I have to just take it in. And they taught me to have tough skin, of course. So if people are like, "Well, she's a tough girl," it's because that's all I'm around.
So you play basketball ever since you were a little girl. What was it that you fell in love with the game of basketball?
I fell in love with like the team chemistry because I've always had team chemistry. I played with some of the girls from LV. They just won the state championship, so they have to have chemistry. And like we played AU together, so that's all we've been building. And I don't know, it's just first.
Well, we know the colleges have had their eye on you. I know you're starting to get the offers left and right now, and you're seeing some that'll offer you scholarships in both volleyball and in basketball. How do you see yourself playing out on the next level? What do you think you're going to be doing?
Well, I'm really just looking for the best offer. So some schools they're offering dual scholarships or some are just offering one scholarship, but I'm just like, I don't know what I want to pick yet. I'm just looking, I'm keeping my options open and I'm working so that they keep looking at me and keeping their eyes on me.
Yeah, I mean, I would think that, nearby Baylor, I mean, we got this girl right here and she can do it all. And they have a tremendous track program. You could play all your sports there. I think that would work out pretty well.
Yeah, that would be really hard to maintain though.
What
Baylor's a good academic
coaches
school.
and teachers along the way have really helped you and inspired you to be as great as you are?
You said which coaches and
Which
teachers?
coaches and teachers?
Um, for sure, Coach Rian Snell. her family, her dad, her mom, even her aunt, that family, because me and Coach Nell are cousins, so it's just like they're also a part of the athletic family too. So it's just like I get that. And then Miss Young, who else? Miss Holder, she was a chemistry teacher. She just always told me to keep going. Coach Anderson, they've always just inspired me. And Coach Beckham, Coach Smith, Coach Kelby Holcomb, she's at China Spring now, but there's some good coaches and they're like, you got it, keep going, keep pushing yourself. You like you have the work ethic and the talent, so like keep working. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna keep working. I'm gonna keep working. That's all I'm doing.
Well, you're getting the message and you're definitely taking that torch and running with it. I think about that community. It's such a tight-knit community. How would you describe the Waco Connally cadet community to someone that doesn't know what it's all about?
Well, it's really diverse. You'll come in and you'll see like Mexicans, blacks, whites, any type. You'll see everybody. So it's just you come in and it's like you see people of all different cultures everywhere. So that's that. It's a small community, so everybody knows everybody. We're all in the same circle. We all have the same friends. Even if somebody doesn't like each other, they still hang out with the same people. So it's just a tight community.
Well, Katrina, I'm glad we were able to slow you down for an interview. You probably have a practice or something to get to. Thank you so much for doing this, and congratulations on being our Class 4A Greater Texas Ford Dealers Female Athlete of the Month.
Thank you.
Your Greater Texas Ford Dealers is so proud to recognize the hard work, dedication, perseverance, and passion of so many Texas high school female athletes who inspire us all. Here's this month's winners. And don't forget, you can see their interviews at Greater TX Ford for Greater Texas Ford Dealers. From Class 1A to 6A, plus private schools, we celebrate them all. Thanks so much for watching the Greater Texas Ford Dealers inaugural Female Athlete of the Month. See you next time.